What up, Whiskey Ginger fans? Welcome back to the show. It's the Chrissy D Residency, episode 2 of this guy back in the studio. I love Chrissy D. I'm so happy that he's here for a while shooting so we can do these Whisk Ginge. We're also going to be doing some sketch stuff together that we're trying to film. So we'll see how this goes. So far, we're having a lot of fun. And I feel like I don't even need to do this, but what a disclaimer with Chrissy D and I. We're always joking around, having a good time. And sometimes he's joking a little bit too much. And just know, we're comedians. It's annoying to have to say this, but good God. Take almost nothing we say serious. And I mean that across all platforms. We're idiots, getting paid to be idiots. So just have fun, will you? Stop trying to control the world, okay? Just sit back and have a good time. This almost means nothing, all of it. So just have some fun, all right? This episode is so fun, and he's such a goofball. And also, he talks in the middle of the episode about I'm on tour. Salt Lake City is almost all sold out. We have one show left that we added on Thursday night. Go to andrewsantino.com for those tickets. Also, Dallas, Addison /Dallas, the Addison Improv in Dallas. Those shows are selling out very fast, so please go get those as well. andrewsantino.com. Also, happy to announce Boston, baby, the Wilbur Theater. I'm coming to Boston. We're finally making it happen in October. They opened up theaters. Let's go, dude. Let's go to fucking Boston, bro. I'm excited as shit to go to the Wilbur Theater in Boston. We sold it out the first time. Then Roan's hit, and then yes, we're back again finally. So Boston, the tickets are on sale right now at noon. It should be at noon right now when this episode is out. So go buy them tickets if you're a Bostonian. I love you so very much, and I cannot wait to see you guys. You're looking for more content like this, go to the Patreon, patreon.com/whiskeygingerpodcast. I do Zooms with the top tier. We're doing YouTube live stuff, all sorts of discounts. Then we do Cheeto Chats, which are the solo episodes. So go there, and andrewsantino.com for tickets. Also, the merch. If you're looking for the merch, you're on YouTube, look down below. So all that stuff is down there. Or it's at andrewsantino.com in the store. You can click on dat dad to go hunt for what I got. All right, I'm done rambling. Let's go to the episode.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Check 2, 68969. Tekashi 69, Tekashi 69, Tekashi 69. All right.
Yeah.
Tekashi 69, Tekashi 69. Tekashi 69,
Tekashi
69. Tekashi 69,
Tekashi 69.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Whiskey Ginger. My guest today is one of my favorite people on earth because he's a resident while he's in town.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Chris Distefano.
Whiskey.
Man.
Whiskey.
We're not drinking whiskey today because it's early. And
Early bird, and
Papa had to work out today.
I worked out this morning. Did you work out
No,
today?
I'm working out this afternoon. You worked out in the morning.
I worked out in the morning. I was supposed to go with Brendan Schaub to his gym, but I couldn't because I had to get a COVID test. And the nurse came over, and she was hot.
It was a hottie.
Yeah, and she came over, and she gave me a COVID test. She gave my girl a COVID test, and then she gave my kids COVID tests.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, dude.
Kids can't get it, right?
I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, I'm not going to be one of those guys like, oh, I fucking hate LA, because it's stupid. LA is a great city.
Yeah.
But the COVID hysteria here is a little scary
We're
to
going
us.
off. Although, do you know
It's
what
a
today
little
is?
scary.
You know what today is?
Hitler's birthday?
Yes, it is!
Yeah! Kyle! Edit it!
It's a clip it out!
Clip it!
It's today is our first day open. Our first day open indoors. So let's give it up for LA for letting people dine indoors today.
Let's do it. 6 months later.
By the way, we're in, honestly, I do think that they'll be letting people eat indoors, and then COVID's going to hit like a little few small communities, and then they're going to shut it down again. Get ready.
But
Get locked in.
It's one of those things where, like, you know, with this COVID-wovie, I just feel like, too, even like I was jogging the other day, like with no mask on, which is like okay in New York because you're not around people.
I jog with no mask because I'm in my neighborhood.
Right.
I'm near nobody.
You're near nobody.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know, people look at you and with this stink eye, and I'm like, listen, dude, like, what do you want me to do?
That's what I say.
Yeah,
listen, dude.
Because it gets to the point where it's like, Okay, listen. I want to just walk up to somebody and be like, "Look, Trump lost. Okay, you don't have to, make this a political issue with the mask anymore.
You won.
You won. Your
It's
fucking
over.
guy won.
Yeah.
So you don't have to. You could take the mask off now. You.
Wei Zhongzhan.
I didn't say it. But you know what I'm saying? Where it's just you want to walk
The
up.
hysteria is bonkers.
It's a little crazy out
Look,
here.
we said this before. I think we should be safe, but I'm also like, sometimes. But that's the irony, right? Like I walked into my breakfast place today, and I got us breakfast, and then
Who's us?
people are eating inside.
Who's us?
My other family.
I didn't know-
Gels? You
I didn't know
Gels
about
us?
her.
You gels us?
Yeah.
Her. Wrong.
Oh, fuck yeah.
By the way, there was a few articles published a long time ago that said, "Is Andrew Santino gay?" And then, "Who's my lover?" And they were searching for who my male lovers were.
Who was it?
And my dad found out, and he was like, "What is this? You're gay online stuff. What is this?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Don't worry about it."
I know, dude. It says I'm gay there too. But what can you do?
Nothing.
We're all gay.
I'm the one that put it out there.
Yeah,
I like
100%.
leaking it. I like
Dude,
leaking it to the press.
I have a goal. I want to get on Wikifeet. I want to get
I'm
my
on it.
puppies. You got your puppies on Wikifeet?
I'm on my Wikifeet.
Wow, pull it up.
But I want to see how much I am now because I think it changed.
What
Let's
was your
see.
original rating?
Wikifeet. The guy from H3, Ethan, showed it to me.
I like that kid.
Oh
Ethan.
no, not Wikifeet. The men one is different.
I can't get men's feet on Wikifeet.
No, Wikifeet for men is called something else, and I'm
Oh.
stupid, but it's called.
You're not stupid, Andrew.
Wow, what is it? It's not Wikifeet men. Let me see. Andrew Santino. I was on there.
Right.
Because I got cutesy pootsies. Oh, I am.
You do.
I am on there.
What's it called?
It's literally men Wikifeet. Men
Wikifeet.
4.9 out of 5. 4.91 out of 5.
Yummy. Okay.
Some of these images are hot.
Let's see.
4.9 out of 5 on men Wikifeet. And I got to tell you, do you know why? Because I take
Why?
good care of my feet.
You do.
I
do.
wash them. I clip my nails. Nothing is more repulsive to me when guys have nasty toenails.
Oh, I'm on it too.
What do you got, Papa?
Buddy, I got a 3.21 out of 5.
You got bad feet.
I got bad feet.
I got really nice feet. Apparently, I've had a lot of comments about my feet on the webs. That's your foot?
That's disgusting,
That's
right?
gross.
I have what's called hammer toes.
Hammer toes.
Yeah, so I came out when I was born. I came out with my thumbs flexed in and my toes flexed over. They had to break them apart. Yeah,
Wait,
when I
'cause
was
they
a
were
baby.
crossed?
They were crossed. They're called hammer toes, and then I
Yuck.
have what's called trigger thumbs.
Look at that.
Oh.
Yeah, well, that's trigger thumbs because you trigger everybody with what you say.
Wow.
Trigger thumbs.
You look jacked right there. You're
I was
beefy.
in shape. I was in better shape.
No, but you're
back
still
then.
beefy.
I'm not as beefy as I was. But now
but-
I'm thick, but I've lost the muscle because of Roan. Because of
But
Roans.
but here's the thing with you, because of Rice-A-Rona, because you you don't. You don't get fat though. You get skinny, which I get tubby.
See, yeah, I won't get fat because I won't stress eat. I'll stress not eat. I'll just get depressed and then I won't eat and I'll just drink booze and go to bed.
Right.
That's not good.
So there's times where literally the calories you're putting in your body are from the booze.
No, I'll have a small meal during the day, but then at night I'll have a couple of sips of something and then I'll take a nap.
Yeah, because I've been working hard.
I don't stress eat.
Trying to lose weight and get. But for me, I've noticed like I've been out here for 6 days now, and I
Yeah.
feel like I've put on 5 or 6 pounds. But no, but I can feel it in my body because for me, if I'm the kind, because I have fat parents genetically, so if I don't, I have something called metabolic syndrome X. My dad has diabetes, my mom has high blood pressure, and we are the type when metabolic syndrome X kid, we get bad genetics, we get blood pressure and high sugar, which I have, and we get fat quick.
Wait
so
a minute.
I gotta try to be careful.
Are you pre-diabetic?
I'm pre-diabetic, and I have my blood pressure's 131/82, so it's not.
What is that? I
it's
don't
not
know if that's good.
terrible.
What's good?
120/80 or below.
That's probably I'm somewhere near there.
You know, you're good. I could tell you're a healthy kid. You're a healthy.
I don't know,
wealthy
man.
kid.
Sometimes I've been eating lately. I had not been like I've been eating anything I want now.
What'd you eat for breakfast this morning when you went into the place?
Breakfast burrito
Wow.
with bacon and potatoes.
And potatoes.
But you know what I do? I eat half of it with the tortilla, and then the other half I just dig out the insides because I don't need a massive, huge. The tortilla they give you is this big. I'm not kidding.
Really?
This big. Yeah, because Southern California we have the best Mexican food on planet Earth, and so
do.
these spots they make the most authentic handmade tortillas. So they give you these huge. They're the size
Right.
of a large pizza. I can't eat all that tortilla.
What'd your wife eat?
She finished what I didn't eat and then ate 2 other burritos because she's a chubber.
Yeah,
she's chunky.
I like fat chicks. I like fat chicks. Yo, well, yeah, I know.
I don't let her eat, by the way. I don't let her eat before noon.
Yeah, you can.
No, you don't get to eat before noon.
I know, dude. You got to see. I posted a picture of my girl's belly the other day. I mean,
Looking
she's
good.
bloated.
She's looking good.
Yeah, but she's fucking. You see her
Are
fucking.
you seeing the baby kick?
Oh yeah, because I keep forgetting I have a baby in there. Yeah,
There's a baby in there.
there's a
cuz.
baby in there because I was like, hey, you got to fucking chill on the Pepsis. But there's a bambino.
There's a little bambino.
We can't feel the baby kick just yet. She can. I could feel like little
Bumps?
thumpers, but she could feel it doing like spin moves in the uterus.
Let's do a capoeira inside.
Yes.
Bum, bum,
Let's do a
bum, bum,
capoeira.
bum, bum, bum,
Yes.
bum, 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 bum. So, because it is Latin, so it does have some capoeira
It
in
does
there.
Zumba. Yeah, my daughter said yesterday because she was like, my girl was like, oh, I don't really feel the baby moving, and my stepson was like, it's probably bored. So my daughter was like, Mom, you should just swallow a toy and let the baby play with the toy. And I was like, it's a great idea.
That's brilliant.
That's a brilliant idea.
Swallow a toy. Let it have
Yeah.
some fun down there. Wait, how many months?
She's 6 months.
3 months left.
3 months left.
I'm
due
good at
date.
math.
You know what the due date is? I told you this.
Hold on,
July
hold
4th.
Really?
Yes.
America's birthday.
Independence Day, America's fucking birthday.
You got to name your kid America. Or
100%.
Indy. Indy.
Donald.
Donnie.
Donnie.
Donnie. What if you name your kid Donald Trump Distefano?
That's what I want to do. I want to name my kid. Don Distefano is a pretty wild name.
By the way, that's a normal. There's got to be a Don Distefano in your family somewhere.
Well, there's not one in my family, but I mean, there has to be. If your name's Don Distefano, there has to be someone named Don Distefano listening
be.
to this podcast. So please tweet at us.
Shout out Don Distefano. How about this? Donald Trump Distefano.
What do we think?
I hope it comes up.
By the way, you guys are watching.
Hey, Johnny Distefano.
There you go. I got an Uncle Johnny.
Donald, John Trump, John Distefano speaking engagements.
By the way, we're on the set of Whiskey Ginger. Andrew Santino and I have started our new show called Good Friends.
Good friends.
Good friends.
Speaking of which, last night, me and this good friend, we did a show together in Hollywood.
Yeah.
We did two
Well,
shows. What do I
I'm
mean?
your
We did two shows.
GOOD friend, and then Bobby's your GOO friend. You fill in the blank.
You're actually a good friend because I said let's meet at the show and I was running late and you showed up and we did two shows together.
We did. We had a good time.
It was really fun actually. Honestly, the in the round, I've done it for like 3 weeks now. I'm really getting used to like that rhythm.
The round, doing a stand-up show in the round, it's tough though. At least it was tough for me to get my bearings because I'm like, when I look at one way in the crowd, and you got to kind of like set it up where like the punchline has to land. Like you have to pick where you're going to land in a
Right.
way. Like you can't just do your jokes. Like I realized a couple of jokes I messed up on the first show is because I started the joke to one side and did the punchline on the other. Where it's
can't
like you
do it.
got to, if you're going to stay there, you got to stay one way. And then
You commit to one angle of people that look like they're having the most fun.
Yeah.
I commit to them and then I move to some, and if I feel their vibe is whack, then I go to the other side. I keep shifting around. We
Yeah.
did the round when I was with Rogan. We did it in San Diego State at their arena
the
or whatever.
Aztecs? What's the name of it?
Aztecs.
Yeah.
And they were great. That round was so much fun. And at first I was intimidated because we had done arenas before, but I had never done a round arena.
No,
Because
me
arena
neither.
stage is genuinely kind of just the same. At
Right.
some point it feels the same as big theaters.
Right.
Right. Because some of the big theaters you can't see the back anyway. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But the round you see everybody.
Everything.
Everybody.
Yeah, I felt like yesterday during that, doing the show on the round, I was just a little bit like, it was weird. Logan Paul was in the front row.
Oh,
so I
yeah,
was
LP
I
was
want to
there.
get on your YouTubes.
LP was there.
LP was there.
LP was there with his buddies and his crew and his clique, and he applauded. He was very nice, very polite. I said hello to him. I met him after the
What a
show.
nice kid.
I never met him before.
Great kid.
Nice kid, multi-millionaire.
Millionaire.
I looked up online what he was selling Pokemon cards for. Those are that FTP stuff or whatever.
Yeah,
he made
a-
$3.5
NFT?
million in one day.
Oh, yeah.
NFT.
He gave my, because we went to
FTP.
I
What am I?
went-
I'm a dad. I'm a dad. You selling HIV's Pokemons?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I did. I went and exercised at his house a couple of days ago, and I brought my stepson. And he gave one of his friends gave my stepson a freaking mint edition Pokemon card.
Does your stepson know who he is?
Yes.
He's old enough to be in that.
He does, but you know what was cool about my stepson? He knew who he was, but he didn't fanboy it at all. He was like, it wasn't until we got back in the car and we were leaving, I was like, do you know who that is? He was like, yeah, it's Logan Paul. I'm like, you didn't freak out? He was like, he's just on YouTube. I was
That's
like,
so
you!
cool. That kid is so cool.
Cool.
He's just on YouTube.
He goes, he's just on YouTube. I was like, yeah, but you see like how cool his house was or whatever. And then my stepson was like, my dad has a bigger house than that. I was like, no, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
He
lives
lives
in a
in-
studio in Long Island.
He lives in the basement of a Chinese restaurant in Bensonhurst, kid. Little different.
Wait, how old is he? 13, the kid?
No, my steppy's 10.
10. Okay.
10-year-old kid,
10 might
great
be too
kid.
young to be in that world of Logan Paul. I think 14, 15 might really have
Well,
a
no,
better.
he knows Logan Paul because he loves Pokemon, so he's seen Pokemon stuff.
So
that
I'm
Logan
really
Paul does.
ignorant. What do you do? Logan Paul gets Pokemons,
And then he like opens them up.
and then he sells them after he opens them.
I think so.
And
And
they
that
ma-
part
and-
I don't know what he does with.
Right, because he's got boxes of them on the internet.
Yeah, I think it's all about the opening things.
And
like
then what's the UTI thing that he's selling? What's
the
that?
UTI thing that he is a type of cryptocurrency. It's a non-fungible token. It's like that. I can't really explain it, even though I'm Chrissy Crypto and the Crypto King.
You should.
I can't really explain it, what it is, but I know that it's a lot of money, and I know that I was going to buy a house on Long Island with my family, but I've told them to hold tight because I got the whole thing in crypto.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got the whole thing in crypto.
All
I'm a
in
cryptomaniac.
crypto.
I put it all in crypto because, listen, I feel like, people, I'm watching these documentaries and they're saying that there's no gold to back up the dollar and blah, 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 blah. And I said, Elon Musk, I'm listening to whatever Elon Musk says. I don't have any Doji coins. You know the Doji coins?
Doja Cat, the performer,
Doja Cat.
killed it last night. by the
Doja
way.
Cat did do well.
She did very, very well.
Very well.
Talented. Very talented.
Very talented, very good. Trevor
Grammys.
Noah bombed.
I can't believe you can't find any jokes in that $27 million house. It's such a big house. There's no rooms with jokes in there, my friend.
No.
It was terrible. No, look,
it was
I'm
because it's hard to. It's very hard to host that show.
I'm
though.
not-
just going to be honest. It's very hard
I'm not
to do what
hating
he's.
on Trevor Noah. It is a nightmare gig. You can't win.
Nightmare.
You can't win. Hosting the only one that you can win at is hosting the Golden Globes, like Gervais does, because all you have to do is shit on them.
Yeah.
They love it. They think it's so funny. And then somebody complains every year that the host, that Gervais is being rude or mean. But it's like,
God.
you paid him to do that. They try to go after Bill Burr after his presentation. They get over.
It was hilarious.
Bill
Dude,
didn't even address it. You won't even believe this tweet.
Yeah.
His wife, Naya. Do you know her?
Yes.
She's like one
Great.
of the coolest fucking people on planet Earth.
Yeah.
She retweeted some moron. Look at this dipshit this morning. She retweeted this. Tell me if this guy doesn't deserve to get hit by a fucking bus. This guy, somebody says, a bunch of Gen Z idiots calling Bill Burr a racist. Meanwhile, and then put up a photo of Burr and Naya together, his wife, who is a beautiful, wonderful black woman. And then this guy says, while I'm not suggesting Bill Burr is a racist, a white man having a non-white wife can sometimes be a sign of racism. What? Look at this. Wait, and then this idiot goes on. So you shouldn't assume someone isn't racist just because they own a minority sex servant. They may very well have one because they're racist.
Wowzers.
Dude, at first I thought this guy's a comedian. This got to be a joke.
Yeah.
No, this isn't a comic.
He said owned a sex servant.
He said owned a sex servant because that's when white men get black wives. He's saying that's them owning sex servants.
So she retweeted it, being like, "Look at this lunacy."
Yeah,
on the
she
internet.
retweeted this moron and she wrote, "Bitch, shut the fuck up," which
Exactly.
is like perfect. Yeah,
Yeah,
bitch, shut the fuck up.
Put some respect on my name.
I think she's the shit. And by the way, this guy, I wanted to say something, and I thought, what a waste of my time. This guy's obviously
Right.
At some point, you're like, I can't even engage with because it seems so fake. It seems like it's a bit saying that you own a minority sex servant.
Well, dude,
that sounds like he thinks he's being funny.
I don't even believe that person's a real person. I genuinely.
This is bot shit.
I believe that's bots. I genuinely, in my heart of heart, believe that 99% of that stuff are not. If you're going to send a hate tweet like that, what I think you legally should have to do is record a video of you saying exactly that. You have to prove to me that you're a real person, because if not, then that's just automated bullshit.
Here's what's crazy: he's verified. This guy's name is Claiborne Griffin. Sounds like he was part of the fucking.
Oh,
sounds like he was from the north. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? From the south. From the south.
Yeah,
he was from the south. I'm good at computers, and they're good at me. Lovington, New Mexico, Queens, New York. Claiborne
Queens,
Griffin.
New York.
This guy's name is Claiborne Griffin. But
Imagine your name was Claiborne.
do you know this guy, Claiborne Griffin? And
No.
who is he? He's a writer, wordslinger in the digital frontier. Has many stories to tell, and a few already. You can find his writings about. I don't want to promote this guy. Please don't look him up. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't want to promote this loser.
Yeah, but
That's the kind of stuff that made me go, oh, that's it. We're over. We're
But
done.
it's just one of those things where it's like, even like, listen, I was excited because we thought Bill Burr was going to come last night, but I think he got sick.
He
or
didn't
something.
feel well. He said he didn't feel well. He was. I'm sure he's overworking himself like a dog.
Yeah, he's
I mean, that
working
guy's
his ass off.
shooting 90 things at once.
But dude, my girl is Puerto Ricana, so
Yeah.
she don't tell anybody, don't tell ICE, but she is a Latin, and so she saw what Bill Burr said yesterday, presenting a Latino
a
award,
Latin
some
something
type of award, and she
yeah.
was like, "What is the problem with this?" She was like, "I was laughing." She's like, "That's a funny thing to say." She was like, "Because it is crazy that he's a white guy
Yeah.
presenting that." She's like, "But it's funny. He's a comedian. Like, we loved it." So she was like, "I loved it. I
nobody
thought it was."
cares.
She was like, "I thought it was great," and that's exactly what she said. She said, "Here's the thing: is you being in entertainment." Well, she was talking to me. She was like, "You being in entertainment, Chris." She was like, "You think that normal people carry on with this stuff. She's like, the normal person didn't even watch the Grammys last night.
Yeah.
And she was like, and if they did, the Bill Burr thing came and went, and nobody cared.
Nobody cares.
She's like, think about what a psychopath you have to be to go on Twitter and voice your outrage because of a comedian saying something. Do you know what an absolute, truly mentally ill person you have to be to do that in the first place?
Yeah.
The rampant narcissism you have to be exhibiting in the first place to be like, look at me, these negative tweets. It's all bullshit.
It's idle hands of the devil's play toy. We've said this before.
What did you just say?
Idle hands of the devil's play toy. Idle hands of the devil's play toy. Idle hands of the devil's play toy. He nutted.
In here, we pour whiskey.
Welcome back to MTV's Spring Break. Hey man, Spring Break is here. And you want to look good when you're on the beach with the ladies or the dudes or whoever. Or whatever gender non-specific person that you're into. It doesn't really matter. Whoever you want to look sexy for, even if it's for yourself, you got to get yourself some Manscaped. I've been pushing Manscaped for so long now, and I really do love this stuff. I have 6 of their products at my house that I currently use, okay? I have one specifically for my downstairs, my hoo-ha. I got my face, I got my nose, the ear trimmer, the ear, nose, hair trimmer. Their cologne is really good. I know I say that with like but I do like it. It is incredible. But Manscaped's here to ensure that the party in your pants never stops. Even Veronica Corningstone wouldn't say no to this pants party. Hey, man, Anchorman reference. They're taking it way back at Manscaped. Everyone's preparing for a spring break. You got to get your body looking good. We have exclusive offer, 20% off discount using code whiskey20 at manscaped.com. That's incredible. I can't talk about them enough. The Lawnmower 3.0, it's waterproof. I use it in the shower, and then I leave the hairs for my old lady to clean up. If you're looking to clean up your gundle, your gooch, your nifkin, your taint, your undercarriage, Area 51, you got to get Manscaped's Lawnmower. You got to get the ear, nose, and hair trimmer. That stuff is great, too. And honestly, I love this stuff because these guys make great quality stuff. And it is that no-nick technology, my friend. You're not going to nick and bleed out. 20% off and free shipping with the code whiskey20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off. That's really good. Free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code whiskey20. Say aloha to your new beautiful balls with Manscaped. Whiskey20 is the code at manscaped.com. Hey guys, these curators at Bespoke Post have really done it again. I really like what they put together. Honestly, you will too. You got to check it out. It's high quality, cool, sexy, inventive stuff. They have this thing called the Box of Awesome. The Box of Awesome, they kind of coordinate with you on what you like and what you don't like. Got myself some cool whiskey decanters, new glasses. I also got myself a little travel bag because I needed it because now we be traveling again, which I'm excited about. But you have to check out Bespoke Post if you don't know what they are. They basically put together this collection for men to showcase pieces to, like, you know, level up hosting skills at your house, or they have cool travel stuff, cooking tools, barware, which I love, grooming goods. They really do have everything for every kind of dudeskies. And it's called this Box of Awesome collection. You got to check it out. Just go take the quiz at boxofawesome.com. Your answers are going to help them pick the right Box of Awesome for you. They release new boxes every month across a whole bunch of different categories with new stuff, which I like. Free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel at any time. Each box is $45, which is nothing because it's got over $70 worth of stuff inside of there. It's really great stuff. You will like it. It's really cool. It's really unique and different. I like the decanter a lot. And my bag. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com. Enter that code whiskey at checkout, baby. That's boxofawesome.com. Enter the code whiskey for 20% off your first box.
Ginger. I like gingers.
All it is people are bored out of their fucking mind because of the pandy, and then they feel like this is a good outlet for them to say some dumb shit.
People need to go back to work.
Yeah, they're bored. They're
Literally,
too fucking bored.
People need to go back to fucking work.
Yes.
We can't continue to just sit at home. Even if the pandy-wandy gets you, then let the pandy-wandy get you, because it's better. I'd rather people start dying in droves than be sitting at home getting mad on internet outrage stuff. But I think we're past it now in the sense of Bill Burr, nothing's going to happen to Bill Burr.
Yeah, but he doesn't address that stuff. See, he's too smart to address it. That's the other thing we should take a note on.
Yes.
Is when the smallest group in the world gets angry at something that you said, you just move forward because your big majority of your fans don't give a fuck at all.
No.
Burr never addresses that stuff. It's remarkable. When he did the SNL bit, there was bullshit, phony articles popping up being like, how insensitive. He didn't even like turn his shoulder to look at that stuff.
No.
It was incredible. But that's the kind of stuff that we should take a note from. You know what I mean?
Dude. I 100% agree.
Like Gervais said that. Gervais said, he tweeted something that was like, people are always like, what can you say now? What can you say? He goes, look, you can say fucking anything that you want. Some of the things you say are going to piss some people off. You either address that or you just keep going on your merry way.
Yeah, I think
just keep fucking off.
I think literally there's so many, the world is so big, the internet's so big, there's so many people, there's literally, dude, you wake up and there's just problems. So whatever problem you might be in the crosshairs of is gone in a day. It's our peers, like you said, who keep retweeting the hate and being like, look at what this person said about me. Shut up.
Yeah.
Why give any of those losers power?
Yeah, it's
Why
weird.
would you ever give them power?
Yeah, you know what?
Just move on.
I probably should blank out his name so no one knows who he is. That
yeah.
way we'll cut that losers, because then he doesn't give him any weight.
No,
because when you
dude.
talk about it, it gives them weight.
That's what they want.
By the way, I heard, speaking of weight, Bert Kreischer,
He put on weight again?
somebody said, I think he tweeted us something that was really, I don't know if he got Rones.
Did he?
I don't know, but
Is he going to die, Bert, or he's going to make it?
if he gets it,
Yeah.
he's got that Mickey
Are we
Mantle
calling
gene.
Bert?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, you're on my podcast with me and Distefano. How are you, baby?
I'm doing awesome.
Dude, did you get Rona? You tweeted about it this morning, and I was like, did you get it?
I tweeted that I had coronavirus?
Yeah.
What did I tweet?
Hold on.
Bert.
Bird, say hi to Distefano.
Hi, Bert.
What's up, Chris? How you doing?
Good, baby. How are you?
Okay, hold
I'm
on.
doing awesome.
Bert, you didn't.
You are.
you don't-
You're just a happy guy.
Yeah, because he's living the.
He's
living
always
the
like, I'm doing
fucking
awesome,
dream.
but then we'll read one day in the news, Bert Kreischer commits suicide.
And
But
let me tell you something. I have a soothing thought that if I ever get really freaked out about cancer, I'll just kill myself and know that I won't die from cancer.
It's amazing, dude. You should do it on the tour bus and let your openers come find your body.
Yeah, it's a Bert hide
Yeah.
and go seek.
Hide and go seek.
Hide and go suicide.
Or, dude, you know, here's the fucking big money. Why don't you and Tommy do a live stream and you do the suicide and people have to pay Friday nights?
Whoa.
I
No,
like it.
no
We'll
late
do
show.
York.
No late show. No late show.
That's what it's called.
No, Bert, look, today 17 hours ago you wrote fucking COVID, and I was like, no, did you get COVID?
Oh, wait, what? Oh, I was drunk. I was pretty drunk last night.
There
okay,
you go.
Good. We're good.
Yeah.
Then that's fine. All right, we wanted to check in with you because we love you. We got concerned.
No, I got that Mickey Mantle gene, man.
See?
You do.
I sat with Dr. Drew for fucking 2 hours, fucking 3 feet from him when he was contagious, and I didn't get it.
Dude, you know how I got it. Chris gave it to me through a friend, and Chris didn't get it. He literally transferred the disease. He was the middleman. He was the
Really?
yes.
Yeah,
And he didn't get it, and I
three
did.
times. 3 times I've been in a room with someone who's had it for multiple hours and I haven't gotten it.
He's like you, man. We got to get you tested for the Mickey Mantle gene to see if you got
Get
it.
me tested for the Mickey Mants.
Because this guy's he might have it. He might have it and
Just
just be
telling
giving
you,
it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if you're looking at my Instagram, but I'm deadlifting 305 without any training. I mean, come on, bro.
We
It's
saw.
like,
It is incredible. Do you see what you know Chrissy's been training with Logan Paul all week.
no way.
Yes,
Are
he
you
has.
serious?
Yes, he's
Yes.
going to his gym. He's fight. He says, tell him what you said about the fight, about him boxing too. By the way.
Well, no, not him. Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, Ryan
Ryan
Garcia's
Garcia
there.
was hitting the bag in the gym and watching this guy rip and just throw hooks to the bag. I was like, ouchie Fauci, that would hurt me.
And by the way, he's 20 years old. The kid.
You're 20 years old and he will get his fucking balls licked.
He hits, and Chris is attracted
Oh,
to him. Chris
gorgeous
says
kid.
whenever he swings at the bag, Chris
Yeah,
gets hard.
I told my girl when I got home that night, I was like, you need to start looking more like Ryan Garcia if you want me to keep fucking you.
I gotta tell you, man. I really sincerely hope that Ben Askren is appreciative of what Logan Paul's done for his career.
Huge.
Because his wife is now like legit getting sponsors to post on her Instagram. She went from like 700 followers to 15,000 overnight. And now
Wow.
she's making loot. I mean, and by the way, Ben Askren's like a household name now. We're talking about him like legit. I'm excited for this fight. I'm more
Yeah.
excited for this fight than I'm excited for anything I've seen lately.
Now, I
So-
honestly, it's a good it's a good boost. He knows it though. Chrissy was telling me that like the coordination that's going on behind the scenes that no one knows about. It's there, and they
Yeah.
keep it.
It's like wrestling. It
it's just
truly
like
is wrestling.
It
It's the
is.
same thing.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and
I would
Askren
make
and
a
Askren knows.
great-
Askren's appreciative. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I said,
I would
it's
make a
yeah.
great boxing. I would make a great boxer. I am all about promotion. I could do this so well. Like, man, I'm telling. Maybe I'll start training for boxing. You know, I'm just gonna get ripped. I'm gonna do a cycle of steroids, get ripped,
Yes.
and transition into boxing.
I swear to
Yes.
God, you know how much fun this would be to have the comedy community behind like a boxing crew.
We should all be on tests. We should all be on testosterone.
I need to be on test for sure.
I wanna be on it.
I definitely do need it. I mean, Bert doesn't need it. This guy's
Bert's a machine.
filled with it. It's ridiculous.
My trainer said to me last night. I tied one on. I apparently tweeted out that I had COVID without having it, and I tied one on. I came in, and I had to do like 2,000 meters on the rower to start, and I'm just sweating piss out of my body. It's horrific. And then I get done. I mean, a legit workout. Like did shoulders, did chest, did flies, did inclines, did gorilla lifts. I mean, I did everything. And I get done, and my trainer's looking at me, and she goes, I don't get it. Like, people aren't supposed to be able to bounce back when they get wasted the night before. I was like, I don't know, man. I love it.
You have something special brewing inside of you. I don't know what it is.
Yes.
You've got this thing where I've never met someone that's able to drink and run. I can't drink and run.
No.
You can have a couple of drinks and have a run like it's not even a thing. If I have a drink, I need a nap.
Same.
If you get me a cocktail on a treadmill with some girl talk playing, I can dance and drink and run. I have the funnest time. And literally, if you saw me, you go, this guy's crazy. He's out of his mind. Why is he wearing a cowboy hat? But that's just the way I do it.
You're a bear. You're in the bear community, in the gay community. You're an honest dream. Dancing to girl talk on a treadmill. That's like a wet dream.
That's what we want.
That's somebody's fucking wet dream.
100%, dude.
I'm so glad that you don't have COVID. I'll let you go. We love you. Chrissy
Love you,
wanted
Bert.
to check in and say
Yeah.
hi. Chrissy's here for 2 months, so he wants to say hi to you while he's here.
Can I
And
come
let's
work out in your house?
Can we get Bert to go to Logan's house?
Yes.
Let's all go over there and go. You want to go train over there, Bert?
Dude, I would love to.
Let's go do that.
Let's do that.
All right. We'll set it up. All right.
All right, love you guys.
All right,
Bye,
love you,
Bert.
brother.
Love
Bye.
you, babe. Yeah, dude. So does Bert work out in his house? Where does Bert work out?
Yeah, he's got his man cave, and he's got one of those, those treadmills. He's got the the self-generating one where you push. He's got that too. But this guy, he's got the row machine. He was doing 2,000 meters.
So if he didn't drink, he would actually be like a jacked.
Have you ever seen photos of him when he was younger?
No, was he jacked?
It's absurd.
Like
He's
jacked and ripped?
He's just in great shit. He was just like a solid dude. He looked solid as shit. He looked like, you know what he looked like? He looked like he looked like a college rugby player. Do you know what I mean? Where you're
Right.
like, oh, because rugby players, they're never super cut.
No.
But they're always
No.
they're solid. That's the best word I can say. Is
I don't know.
He's solid as a rock.
I couldn't tell you, like, if you put a rugby game on in front of me, I would have, not a clue what's happening.
Yeah, no.
No, I don't know.
Fancy
what.
football? You mean fancy football?
I'd be like, yeah, what are they doing?
They're allowed
What-
to kick it. They're allowed to run with it. They're
Yo.
allowed to toss it. You're allowed to hit people that don't even have the ball, which I think is wild.
You know what's interesting, though, about rugby? First of all, they all do, and they do it all in collared shirts, right? They wear just full collared shirts while they're playing,
Yeah,
don't they?
they're wearing like tucked in shirts.
But they have some of the lowest rates of concussion of any major
Well, they
sport.
teach them how to tackle.
Right, that's the difference. So it's
Yeah.
like football. I think the more gear you put on,
Yes.
the more fearless you are, and then you just get a concussion.
100%. When you talk to rugby guys too, my good friend who lives up north was played rugby for a long time and rugby coach and all that stuff. And he's a tiny little meatball, little short, little stocky little
squeak.
meatball. Yeah. And this dude tells me all the time, he's like, you're so scared of hitting your head against somebody else's head. Like it's a conscious thought all the time.
Right.
Because you don't want to bend that, go.
No.
But in football, your first thought is, of course I'm going to lower my head.
Right.
To get through these people. Like there's no doubt in my mind. But he says you're more strategic when you hit because you're thinking about, well, it's not about me injuring the other guy. I don't want to get injured by way of hitting another guy, right?
Right.
You don't want to clip a guy and then knock yourself out.
No.
And then take yourself out with a waste. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like where football is like, no, I'm gonna run as hard as I can and murder everyone in my path.
Yeah.
I got smoked when I was a kid. I got 2 concussions from football.
My mother wouldn't let me play football, and to be honest, and my father used to yell at me. Do you know the reason why I genuinely couldn't play football? Every time I'd put the mouthpiece in, my gag reflex would go. I swear.
But now you're trained. You could put 3 mouthpieces in your mouth and it wouldn't even
100%.
matter. You could
Yeah.
put 1 in the back of your throat and then 2 up top and bottom.
No, dude, I'll never forget. There was a team in my neighborhood called the Ridgedale Brewers. That was like Ridgewood, Glendale, the
Right.
Ridgedale Brewers. And I went to literally at the tryouts, the coach was like, oh, he's got to put in a mouthpiece. And my dad had one. I put it in and he put it in my mouth. I was like, like that. And I come over crying and I'm like, I can't do the mouthpiece. And my dad's like, put the mouthpiece in. And my mom's like, let him just not wear the mouthpiece. And the coach is like, if he's on this field, he has to wear a
You have to.
mouthpiece.
You're going to lose your teeth.
Yeah, so I put in, I'm like, I just gagging on the mouthpiece, I swear. And then I literally practiced. I probably practiced for 15 minutes, and then I just came over crying. I spit the mouthpiece out. I started yelling at my dad, my mom, because my parents were divorced. It was my dad's
course
weekend,
they are.
and my mom left with me, without my dad. She's like, "You're not gonna get to see him. You're abusive." Because she was like, "You're making him wear that mouthpiece."
Do you remember when we were young and we had to form the mouthpiece? You had to put it in boiling water and melt it. Do you remember that? And you put it in your mouth when it was still really hot, and you're like,
No, but
And you have
I'm
to
telling
close
you,
it?
I couldn't. I only
never did that?
The only time, fast forward to like maybe a couple of years ago with boxing, I had to spar for like this Mountain Dew thing, and I had to wear a mouthpiece, and I had to boil it in hot water and do that. But dude, I swear to God, like I kept feeling like I was going to throw up. Does that ever go away? Like, do you just get used to it?
I mean, I got used to it over the years, but
Yes.
that's because I have a couple of different things in my mouthpiece.
That's
you
what it
understand what I'm
is.
saying? No, and I always had black mouth guards for some reason. I never wore
Really?
any other color. I love big black mouth guards.
Love.
If I was going to
black
put
mouth
something in my mouth, there's going to be a big black mouth guard.
guards. So you play football your whole?
No, I played football in junior high, and then my dad literally was like, ultimatum, my friend. You want to keep playing basketball, or do you want to play football? He goes, by the time you get to high school, probably not going to turn out so good.
Yeah.
Because he was like, football is just you're going to get injured. So you're not, because we had a lot of guys that obviously play both basketball and football. They transitioned in the season. But these guys were men. You know what I mean?
Right.
They were grown men. They could take the hit.
Right.
So I was like, I can't get injured and then lose basketball. It was more important to me. So then I quit football junior high. Well, I did freshman program. I did freshman training program for football. And then I literally told the coach, I was like, this isn't going to happen.
Dude,
He was like, why not? I was like, because I want to play basketball that bad. And I don't want to like break an ankle or mess up something. Then my whole basketball season's gone.
Well, now, see, that's the thing. Like,
And then I quit basketball senior year because of drugs.
Cocaine.
Just all of them.
I want to start playing basketball again. Like people have been like, even my dad was like, you should play basketball again. Like just pick it up because that was my whole life.
Where?
But it's like, dude, well, even in a men's league, it's like I'm gonna blow out my knees. Can you imagine what a dick you would look like coming up onto stage with crutches? Like a fuck.
Yeah.
You
How'd
look
you-
like
how'd you
such
get
a
hurt?
jerk off
Yeah.
when you're an adult with crutches. Like trying to get my daughter into appointments, trying to get her to school, like with just a cast on.
And it's not even a good reason. It's not like, oh my God, something happened. I was fighting off a guy that broke into the house and I tripped.
No.
And fell. No, I was playing hoops with my buds.
Fucking on Thursday night, I blew my leg out.
We played in a comics league. You know, we used to have a big comics league out here.
Yeah, with the Sklar brothers, right?
Everyone, I mean, it used to be everybody was in
What
it.
happened though? Everybody-
It might be still going on pre-COVID, but we quit. We ended up quitting. I played for 4 years.
Who's we? Who quit?
My whole team quit.
Why? Just it was
Too many fights.
actual fights.
Well, there was both. I mean, people got in arguments and fights. Adam Ray last night. Adam Ray got kicked out from like 5 games for getting. He gets hussy pussy, and he's
Really?
a thick
He's a
girl.
thick kid, a little Seattle. He's got
Tell
that
you something. He's got attitude and he's good on the court.
Yes.
He's dominant.
Yes.
And he can fight and he gets aggressive. But we always would get. There was always an argument. There was always a pushing match, and then there was a few fights over the years that got bad. I was on the Comedy Store team for a couple years. Then we played on another one called Sean Kemp's Kids with me and all the Seattle guys. Yeah. And then we ended up quitting. We won the championship my final year, and then we quit because I was like, it did get to the point where people were getting hurt just because it was too aggressive. It's like
Right.
people would be, swinging elbows in the paint. You'd catch one to the face, and you're like, "Oh, great, dude! Now I got to go on stage, and my eyes busted open."
Yeah, you look like an idiot.
It just it wasn't fun as much as it was competitive. The fun went away.
Dude, one time I saw this was we played in this park league, and they had the chain nets, which you never really see chain nets. And this
I
guy,
love chain nets.
chain nets. I know, dude. I love chains. No, like these chains.
Restrict me, baby.
Yeah, I love it. And so this guy, he had gotten married like 2 weeks before. I kind of knew him, but he got married 2 weeks before, and he was a big guy. He was like 6'6", 6'7", and he went up for a dunk, and he dunked, and his ring finger got stuck in the chain net, and he came down, and his finger was just swinging in the net like that, just bleeding out. I was like, la, 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 la.
I've seen so many bad accidents. I fell on my neck, and I had a severe concussion where I almost broke my neck. I literally almost broke my neck. Passed out for like 2 days. I saw a guy, a good friend of mine, his bottom tooth went right up through his top lip, like dislocated his jaw, and his tooth went up through his lip. I've seen people literally break their ankle, actually break their ankle.
Oh, dude, I've seen that so many times.
I've seen, well, Tom Segura, we know, he fucking put his arm and touched the back of his fucking other arm.
That one, but I've actually never seen anything quite like that though. Like even all my years of physical therapy, seeing an injury like that, because he broke his arm and his leg, right, on the same time at the same thing, or was it just his arm?
No, his arm, but his leg was because of his. He blew out his ACL or his MCL.
On the jump.
Well, what happened was he slips, right? You can see him, like there's water underneath, and he slips or whatever, like sweat. And so his shoe doesn't catch, so his knee blows out, and that causes his body to flail. His arm goes behind him, and splats.
So yeah, so it's just he's still like in recovery to this day, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he looks fine now.
He's great now.
He's in total fine shape now. I mean, I'm sure that's he's never going to play basketball again. I'm sure he's not going back.
dude. But see, like that's what happens though when you're an adult. Like
you get hurt.
That's just what happens.
Yeah.
You know, dude.
You get hurt sometimes with your kid, huh? Just like goofing around with your kid.
Oh, all the time, dude.
It's insane.
By the way, I cannot believe that I forgot to tell you this, and I've waited. I didn't even. My life changed yesterday.
In here, we pour whiskey.
Times are tough. Everyone's all over the place. Wouldn't it be nice to have something in your pocket on the go that could give you a little bit of calmness during the day? Well, guess what? There is. Headspace is incredible. Guided meditation. It's your daily dose of mindfulness in the form of guided meditation and an easy-to-use app. It's simple. It's incredible. It takes almost no time out of your day to refocus your energy on YOU, because you deserve it. I'm being genuine. I talk about mental health quite often on this show, and I'm a big proponent of believing in getting help or assistance or whatever you want to call it for mental health and wellness. Whatever your situation is, Headspace can help you feel better if you're overwhelmed, if you just need 3 minutes of, relaxing time and meditation to just reduce the stress of the day. Honestly, this stuff can improve sleep and boost focus, and I really do believe in taking some time out of your day to just chill out and get a little bit of guided meditation to recenter your chakras. I do believe in that, man. I do think it's very important. You deserve to feel happier, and Headspace is meditation made simple. Go to headspace.com/whiskey. That's headspace.com/whiskey for free 1-month trial with access to Headspace's full library of meditations for every single situation. This is the best deal offered right now. Head to headspace.com/whiskey today. Get some guided meditation. Calm yourself down. Boost your focus. Improve your sleep. And feel better today
Ginger.
with Headspace.
I like gingers.
I was on, again, we've been in Los Angeles for a week.
Yeah.
We're on the 405 or the 101 or
Who
the
cares?
123, the fucking whatever, dude. The fucking free fuck
9/11.
way.
Were we on the 9/11?
We're on the 911.
Yeah.
And we're on Mohammed Atta Express. And shout out Mohammed Atta, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're driving and we see like huge pillars of smoke, like black smoke.
Yeah.
Like coming over the highway like crazy.
Huh?
And so my girl's like, get off the highway. And I'm like, no, I want to see what's going on. She's like, the kids are in the back.
Women, logic, men, go for the smoke.
She was like, Chris, the kids are in the back. And like, my stepson's like, oh, look at the smoke. I want to go through it. And I'm like, I want to go through it. And then my daughter's like, no, please, Daddy, no. Because the Carvel in our neighborhood burned down. And my daughter like can't even walk past the Carvel anymore. Like, even though, because it's all boarded up, she just gets like,
Who burns down an ice cream shop?
fucking unbelievable, dude.
Terrorist. You can't take our ice cream, terrorist.
Can't do it. It was me, because when I started the MyFitnessPal app, they said ice cream's no good.
No
So
more.
I said, burned it down. So she's like freaked out with fire. So I really should have just gotten off the exit.
Yeah,
I
of course.
should have done that, of course. But I did that thing where I was like, I can't get off, I can't get over. But I could have 100% got over. So then we're at a point where there's nowhere for us to go, because this had just happened. The fire trucks and the police cars weren't even there yet. The traffic was just rubbernecking. But the fire trucks were coming from our way
Right.
to try, all that. And then they were coming from the other way. But they were just getting there as we were getting there, as we were getting to it. So I said, look, it's just a car on fire, or maybe the bushes are on fire. Don't worry about it. So, and again, my daughter is like petrified of this. So we're slowly pulling up, dude. And I swear, I know that this is what we saw, because even Jasmine started to like dry heave. We come up there, the car had crashed into the wall, and exploded. And there was a guy sitting in the front row. I swear to God, his flesh like dripping off his body, just sitting there.
Shut up.
I swear to God, like engulfed in flames. And my daughter, she's like, "Is that a man?" And then my stepson is so fucking funny, because he's like not traumatized by anything. She goes, "Is that a person, Mommy? Oh my God!" And then my girl's like, "Oh my God, is that? Oh my God!" And like screaming. And I'm just like looking. And then my daughter's like, "Oh my God, is that a person?" And my stepson goes, "Yeah, that's Santa Claus."
Give that kid a Netflix deal.
Yeah, and she was like, "Ah!" And dude,
You saw a man? It was really
Dude,
a guy in the car?
I swear to God, like
by himself, just...
Yo, like just like
Oh
you
my
couldn't make
God,
it. He was
Chris.
already burnt. Like it was
was over.
Like you couldn't make out that what kind, like if it was a man or a woman, but like somebody was in the seatbelt, like this seatbelt on, just like that. Just, I swear, because they were burning, like incinerating. It's not funny, but like,
no, it's terrible.
One of those things though, but like, because I could have.
You couldn't believe that that's what it was.
I genuinely thought it was going to be like a bushfire.
Or just like a little car accident.
Instead, I drove my family. They've been in LA for a week until an active fire scene where the driver of the car was engulfed in flames, dying in front of us. Bad, dude. And we looked all over on the news for it and everything, and like, it's not a thing. It's like, does this just happen in Los Angeles so much where cars just incinerate and kill people?
Enough accidents happen in LA where you couldn't report all those.
We couldn't believe, because we saw that the police helicopter circling above the 405, 101,000, whatever we were on, and they're just circling, and we're like, this has to be on the news. Like, but we had to get off the next exit and like pull over, because like they were traumatized. Like my daughter had to sleep with us last night. Like I fucking may have ruined my kid's life just because I thought it'd be funny.
LA,
but my
baby.
stepson doesn't care. And then when he immediately said Santa Claus, I was like, dude, that's hilarious.
That is so funny.
Because now she thinks that Santa burnt. So now so now here's the thing. We're told like, no, that wasn't Santa burning alive. But then we made the decision. This is like crazy how like I changed my whole family's life by just what we had to tell her this morning, my daughter, because she was just like so upset about everything that we had to just sit her down and tell her not only like that wasn't Santa, but Santa's not real. So
so this was the catalyst to tell her Santa's not real. This is
had
great.
to. This
is great. That's the universe.
Because she believed that Santa was dead in the fire because that's what her brother said. But we had like, no, he is not real.
How old is she now? She's
5. But
it's about time.
No.
They know.
You think
5
so?
and 6 is when you start to get the inkling that you're like, what's going on? Especially if you have older siblings, if you have older brothers or sisters, or friends of older brothers and sisters. All I remember was about that time people start being like, you know it's fake. And you're like, shut up. What do you mean?
Dude, I'll never forget, 7 years old, we used to drive from New York to Florida every summer with my grandpa, who had his friend. It's one of those things where, like,
by the way, how stupid are kids that they believe in Santa?
Dumb fucking idiots.
Fucking idiot.
Dude.
You think a man is going to fly around and deliver all the gifts in one night? You really think that? He can come down all these chimneys? Kids are fucking idiots. They're idiots.
Idiots.
How do we trust them to do anything?
Yeah, it does.
Anything.
It's just stupid.
We should let them out into the world and see if they'd survive. They'd all die within an hour.
Dude, I could, and it's like where I lived, like in like a little bullshit Brooklyn apartment. It's like I was like, Mom, there's no chimney, so like where would he come down? And I used to think that he would come up through the toilet, so I would leave the toilet lid open on Christmas morning because I thought that's where Santa's gonna come out through our poopies.
I remember growing up in a high rise when we were in a high rise when I was a kid. And for my first like 9 years of my life, I grew up in high rises. And I remember when they talked about Santa coming down chimneys and going to the houses, and there was never apartments in any of those books.
No.
And I thought, oh, I guess Santa doesn't come to these apartments at all.
No.
I never asked. I was sad. I got really sad. I was like, I guess those gifts are from somebody else.
Yeah, like, they just are.
From ghetto Santa.
I saw two things happen. Two things happen. When I was 7, when I was 7, this happened. I was like, whatever. And when I was 8, I saw my mother taking a bite of the cookie that, like, because we used to go to my Aunt Janet's house. So I saw her taking a bite of the cookie and putting it back on the plate because she would make it like we would go to my aunt's house, open up presents. Then when we would get back at like 1 o'clock in the morning, there would be a half-eaten cookie and half-drank milk. And she'd be like, oh, Santa came and ate the cookie and the milk. But my mom, when I was 8, I saw her, half-eaten cookie, and then she came down into Aunt Janet's house with a freaking milk mustache. So I was like, yeah, lady.
Nice try, Ma.
I know it's you.
Yeah.
But when I was 7, the year before, we used to drive from New York to Florida every summer. And my grandpa, this is where like kids are just like so clueless. It used to be me, my cousin, my grandpa, and my grandpa's friend Lillian. But my grandma would stay home. And I thought and I was like, oh, Lillian's just
grandpa's friend.
I thought grandpa, and I swear to God, I thought Lillian was just grandpa's friend. But grandpa would tell us when we got in the car, and we would never say, he was like, remember, it's just the 3 of us, don't talk about Lillian. Lillian's just a secret. But as a kid, we thought that was funny. He's like, he's grandpa's secret friend. So we were like, this is great. Grandpa's secret friend. So we'd be like, shh, grandpa's secret friend. But I didn't realize like he was having
Grandpa
a full...
has so many secret friends. And he has secret kids. And he has secret other families.
Yeah. So we would go down to Florida, and I didn't know until like literally I must have been like a teenager because my grandpa passed away. I was maybe 17, 18 years old. My mother came and asked me once, asked both of us, me and my cousin, she was like, what? Like when you guys would go to Florida, like was there a woman with you? And we're like, yeah, always grandpa's secret friend Lillian. And they were like, my mom talked to her sisters like, did you know like our dad was having an affair like on our mom, and she would go with the kids to Florida, and like one of my aunts knew, the other one didn't give a fuck. Like it was just crazy. But we're driving down
Back then, you could have multiple families, and it was
Yeah,
totally
there's
kosher.
no cell phones, dude. We used to call my mom from a payphone at this place called South of the Border in South Carolina off the side of I-95. Like, my grandpa would just take us for 2 months to Florida and just he would let us jump in the pool with no fucking life vests on. We were like, we couldn't swim. We were idiots. There were alligators outside. We were in Florida, and we're driving on I-95. 7 years old, no seatbelts on, no car seats. That just wasn't a thing back then.
Didn't exist. I used to sit in the back of a station wagon with a bunch of different kids.
Oh yeah,
with like 6 different kids in the bed of a station wagon.
Dude, there were no rules. It was great. It was when America was great, and we're going to get America great again, 2024. And so we're driving, and we see this big 18-wheeler Mack truck, and every time we'd see the truck, we'd go like, ha ha, and then usually the guy would go, ha ha, honk on horn. I forgot what state we're in. Maybe we're in like fucking Maryland or something. But we're driving, and it's on my cousin's side, and she sticks out her head, and she goes, "Hey, mister." And my grandpa's like that. So the guy literally rolls down the window. I swear to God, he rolls down the window, and he goes, "Santa's not real," and then rolls up the window and speeds off. And we were like... And we just sat back, and Lillian was like, "What an asshole he was." And then, like, we had all these questions while we were on the highway, like, is Santa real? Is he not real? And then they were trying to come up with reasons why he was real. And, of course, he's real, and that guy's sad, and he's going to get coal in his stocking, and blah, 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 blah. And then, but that's when it put the seed of doubt in me. And then the next year when I saw my mom eat the cookie, I was like, oh, Santa's not real, but Lillian is.
Lillian is very real.
You're very real. Dude, I was like, because it was...
Was she pretty?
You know what? I don't remember. I remember she had a mole on the back of her head, and I would sit in the back seat, and I would always be right behind her, and just for like 18 hours, just looking at this lady's mole on her head, and I'm like, ugh.
Wait, how big was it? It went through her hair?
It was just a huge, yeah, she had like thinning hair. She was an old woman. She had this big, huge fucking mole on her head, and I would just like stare at it. I would just watch it like jiggle, and I was like, ugh.
My stepdad's, I think he told me his grandpa had multiple families. And,
yeah, I believe it.
And they didn't know. They had
it was
no
very
idea.
common back then.
Yeah, well, also because divorce was so scary, people didn't want to get a divorce, right? So they were
you
so
couldn't get a
panicked
divorce.
about divorce that they were like, well, you can't get a divorce. You might as well just have other families.
Yeah.
Which I think having 2 families, I don't know how people do that. I don't know how you want like a whole, we watched that guy, the polyamorous people. They have like a TV show where it's like they have 4 wives, 4
like
wives.
Mormons?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or whatever they are. It's not Mormon. It's the other. It is, but it's not, right? It's
Like, the Mormons are about polygamy.
not all of them though, because a lot of them aren't into that shit.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of like that's the extreme version. Kind of like how like Hasidic Jews are an extreme version of Judaism, where you have lots of Jewish friends that don't do any of that.
Yeah,
shit.
the Hasidic. Yeah, there was.
You know what I mean? And they disagree with each other very, very much. Whereas like a lot of the Mormon community totally disagrees with polygamy and all that shit.
When I was a child. My grandpa was, an old racist guy.
Yeah.
He
As he should be. That's
yes,
what they are. That's what they were.
We, live very close to Williamsburg, Brooklyn, which is a humongous Hasidic Jewish population.
Right. Still.
Still huge Hasidic Jewish population. And when we would be driving through that neighborhood, they kind of like it's their community. So like they'll cross the streets like on a green light, like they don't care. And my grandpa one time, I remember it was my grandpa and my dad in the front seat and me in the back seat. And my grandpa like stopped short and almost hit like a Hasidic Jewish person. And he goes, he turns around because Chrissy, I should have hit him. I would have got 10 points. And I was like,
Oh
what?
my
So
God.
then he never explained. So I just thought when I was a kid, I just had this thing. If you hit Hasidic Jewish people, you get
points.
There's some kind of point system.
And what are the points for? Who cares?
So I remember then we would be driving around like, hit him, dad, Grandpa will get 20 points. And then, dude, it was so brutal. But it's one of those things where it's like, that's me being a dad now. Like if I won't do a joke like that, but if I ever did something in that realm, it's like I have to explain to my child right away that I was kidding. But I think for my grandpa and my father, it was funnier for them if they never told me.
Well, right, because there was always secrets that they never told us that you didn't understand till later. I
Yeah.
talked about it on the show. Like my uncles would go out and check the tires at family gatherings.
Yeah.
That was to go smoke pot.
Oh yeah.
They were like, we got to go check the tires. I was like, man, when I get older, I got to make sure I got to check all the tires on all my cars in the winter.
Yeah, you just have
That was
to.
this old lie that they went out to check the tires so they could, it was like, because in the winter, air gets out of the tires. You don't want to walk outside of a family gathering for a flat tire. And as kids, we're like, oh. Yeah, but they come back from checking the tires.
That's
and now
like
you're like,
That's like
Oh.
when I first started comedy. I was like 2010, 2011. I opened for Pablo Francisco at Gotham Comedy Club.
he was there last night, by the way.
Great.
I said hi to Pablo last night. I told him, I said, dude, I saw you when I was in college. It's incredible to see you.
It was
still
amazing to see him
doing your
see him
thing, man.
Just
It's wild.
I mean, the impersonations are fantastic. Pablo Francisco, great. And I remember I opened for him. Like he didn't pick me to open. I was just like the
local.
house MC at Gotham Comedy Club that night, and I was in the green room with him, and he goes, hey man, because again, I was so naive when I first started comedy. Like, I wasn't from a drug scene. I was like, I didn't know anything about anything. I genuinely was like wet behind the ears. I lived my whole, in Brooklyn, Queens. I barely even went into Manhattan. Like, Brooklyn, Queens kids, for the most part, don't even go there. It's like we stay like in the outer boroughs.
Why would you though?
So like Manhattan, it's like that was like only started really going when I started doing stand up, and he was in there with his openers and like his real openers, and I came in. I was like, hey, we're gonna start in about 5 minutes, and then Pablo's like, oh, he's like thanks for letting me know. He's like, I just got to go skiing quick, and I was like, okay. He was like, yeah, we're gonna hit the slopes. Like,
that's so far away. But
that's what I said. And
guess.
I remember thinking, I remember coming out, and I asked one of the servers, I was like, Pablo said he has to go skiing. Is there like, what does that mean? And then the server was like, like that, like they did that face, like,
Chris, come on.
and I had no idea. I was like, skiing. I was like, I don't know how he's gonna make it back in time, but
he did somehow. He was able to get to the slopes and come right back.
Yeah, and I did. It didn't hit me that he meant absolute cocaine use till like years later. I was like, oh, because then they all started laughing. He was like, we're gonna go skiing. Let's hit the slopes, boys. And I was like, cool. I've never been skiing, but I had no idea. And then they're all.
You guys gonna wear helmets? Be careful on the slopes.
Yeah, I was like, it's so awesome. I was like, holy shit, dude. Dude,
when I saw him in college, my college girlfriend bought me one of his CDs that he signed afterwards, and I remember thinking that's when I started to talk about wanting to be a comedian.
Right.
Was back then, and I was like, maybe it's a bad idea because he was so polished. And
Right.
guys like that were so good, they would come into the Tempe Improv, and I'd go watch all of them, and I was so scared. Because I was like, man, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do any of that stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it's so intimidating to watch when you're 20 years old to watch someone polished,
Yes.
Like, it was wild.
Like how they kill, just to even kill for 10 minutes, I'd be like, how did they do
Scary.
that?
Yeah.
To do it for an hour, you're like, that's impossible.
It didn't make sense. And back then, Pablo was doing probably an hour and a half. And then at the
Easily.
very end, and then at the end, he would do, and then of material. And then at the end, he would take, people talking to him, and he would do the movie voice and all that stuff. And he would let people give him scenarios, and he would make up a movie. And that stuff was fucking remarkable. And it's cool to see him out there still pumping away and doing his thing. He was doing a bunch of what sounded like relatively new shit last night.
Dude, I was the house MC at Gotham Comedy Club in New York, and then I was the house MC at Caroline's Comedy Club in New York. Dude, one time I opened up I emceed for Richard Lewis, and he just does a 2-man show. That's all he does. But so it's just me doing 10 minutes and then Richard Lewis for an hour. And, he sells a lot of tickets, especially in New York. Yeah. People want to see him, 2 Friday night shows, 2 Saturday night shows. Every night, the Friday night shows went fine. I did okay. I literally was doing comedy for 2 years. They wanted me to do 10 minutes. I maybe had 13 minutes, but only 6 of my minutes total was actually good stuff. Like, it was just brutal. So I could if you asked me to do 15 minutes, I'd be like, I don't know, I can't. So 10 minutes was like a stretch, but I'm like, I can do this. So in between each show, Caroline's on 49th Street and 7th Avenue in the middle of Times Square, but he will not, Richard Lewis will not wait in the green room. He doesn't do that. That's just how he is. He goes from the hotel, walks right up onto stage when it's his turn, his time, does his hour set, goes back to the hotel. That's how it is. He will not sit in the green room.
To be fair, that green room is pretty terrible.
That green room's terrible, but it is. But any green room.
So really tiny and
there's nothing
claustrophobic.
It's almost like comedy clubs make comedy clubs and then forget about the fucking green room.
Yeah, the only thing that we care about is, can I have a nice, comfortable space before I go on stage?
Yeah, I'd like a nice space.
There's people that don't have green rooms at all. There's clubs that they're like, oh, you just kind of hang out by the kitchen.
I just did Rick Bronson's House of Comedy in Arizona. I was just sitting in the closet.
They're like, hey, can you just hang out back here? You're like, I just sold out fucking 6 shows.
Sold out Salt Lake City.
Sold out Salt Lake City. Well, we got one show added. We got added a late show on Thursday, but it's going to sell out for sure.
Buy those tickets, you fucking Mormons.
Buy them. And then I'll be in Dallas. I go down to Addison.
Yeah.
Come see me down there. I've never done it, by the way. Never done Dallas.
Dallas? I did the Addison.
Or Addison, sorry. Whatever. It's the same thing.
Yeah, the owner's a fucking wild guy.
Is he?
Yeah, he says wild. He's always like, waka kuku kiki. Like he's got like Tourette's or something. I swear to God. Aww. He'll talk to you and be like, waka kiki kuku.
You're like, great, thank you.
And I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah.
Not as wild as, what's his name that passed away from Stanford and Sons. Did you ever do that room?
No, I heard he was nuts.
He picked me up from the airport in a Lotus with cigarette burns all over it. A Lotus. You know how expensive those coupes used to be? I mean, the old ones.
Yeah.
And he pulled up to the airport. I'm like, he called my phone and I was like, hey, is there a car? Do I have to take a Uber or no, this is before Uber. What I'm saying, I was like, do I have to take a cab or something to the hotel? He's like, no, man, I'm picking you up, dude. Just chill out. And I was like, oh, okay. It was like 20 minutes after I got my shit, and I was just waiting because no one told me anything.
Yeah.
So then he comes up in a fucking Lotus, chain smoking, cigarette burns all over it, trash. I mean, trash everywhere. It's like a $100,000 sports car, trash all over this fucking thing. McDonald's bag, spilled drinks in the cup holders and all that stuff. Oh, it's fucking gross. I'm not kidding. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I've been traveling. I just came from another shitty long weekend where it was Wednesday to Sunday. You remember those days?
Of course, yeah.
It was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it was Wednesday, Thursday, and then 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, 1 show Sunday. I mean, I was exhausted.
What about the ones where you have to do 3 shows on a Saturday?
I fucking put a gun in my throat. Yeah. So then I get in the car. I'm tired. All I want to do is go to my shitty Motel 6 and just go to bed. You know what I mean? And pass on a bed of syphilis. And so I'm like, how far is the hotel? And he's like, no, we gotta pick up somebody before we get to your hotel. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm not kidding. We go to what looks like where it's like a hooker mill. I mean, it literally looks like a hooker mill,
right.
100%. I was like, this is where this is like a pimp and his hookers live here. It's fucking gross.
Right.
Sure enough, this super tall chick, this really tall, skinny chick comes out.
She have a cock?
She's like 5'10". I don't know. I didn't. I mean,
Hope so.
I only fucked her from the back, so I have no idea.
Perfect.
I didn't see anything dangling. No clock down there, huh?
Hey.
But he goes. I go, oh shit! It was, like didn't tell me.
Right.
Oh my god! And I get to get out, and he goes, no. She sits in the back. You sit in the front. You're the headliner. And I was like, dude, and it's in the back of his sports car. She's like 5'10". You know, she's like a tall, and so her head,
knees are up over your
her
head.
head is like hitting the ceiling, and he doesn't introduce. It doesn't say a word. I'm like, hi, hello. You know, she says almost nothing at all. Then we finally get to the hotel, and he's like, oh, sorry, this is Black Barbie. This is my Black Barbie. You like it? And I was like, nice to meet you, Black Barbie. And he goes, check this out. And he just grabs her tits. I mean, just like grabs her tits. And he goes, huh? Look at these. Brand new. And I was like, see you at the show. Dude, it was so uncomfortable.
And he's dead now, this guy?
Yeah, he
Damn
died.
it.
He died. He was a party animal. He was out of his fucking
I heard
mind.
that
Every night, he would have 4 or 5 prostitutes with him.
But I heard.
Sorry.
But
working women. I shouldn't. I don't want to defame
it's
the
Women's
dead.
Month, you know?
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it wasn't a secret. I mean, they were doing coke, and he always had call girls all
Was
the
the
time.
club good though? Okay, decent.
You know, like I said, the original one was wild as shit. It used to have a catwalk, which I thought was insane. And the club, and also
Like you would perform on the catwalk?
you could walk out on a catwalk in the middle of the crowd.
That's pretty cool.
And the new one was more like, and the second version of it was a club. It was more like an old school club in a bullshit strip mall, like they all are. And he was always nice to me, man. Rest in peace. The dude was nice to me. But
how'd he die?
I think overdose.
Oh,
his brother was overdosed or a car accident too. I mean, they all died really weird and tragic.
Right.
He was a good dude. It was just the club was. I didn't sell tickets, so back then it was free ticket nights, and people were mean and wild and drunk.
Yeah, and you
crazy.
got $1,500, maybe $2,000.
Oh my no,
less even.
Yeah, it was probably. I walked away with probably $1,000 for 5 nights of shows or 6 nights of shows, and maybe because you spent money on food and plane and But I do remember that every time I did see him, and I did his club 3 times, I think. He was always like, hey man, one day you're gonna be too good for this club. And in my mind, I was like, oh, I don't know about that, man. And I'm happy that it came true, but also he was very nice about knowing. He's like, and when you don't do my club anymore, just tell other people on the way up to come through my club. Because he's like, guys get too big and they just don't do my club. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I wonder, is that like, how does that happen? And then when you feel that happen, the transition, you're like, oh shit, I know what he means.
I know what he means now.
I know what he means.
But it's cool of him that he at least like knew that and what doesn't hold it against you. Like, what do you think, you're too big for my club?
No, he knew. He was a businessman. He was like, at some point you just move forward.
Well, he must have done some things right. I mean, he's got a
great.
Lotus and he made real money.
Yeah, and he had Black Barbie.
And he had Black Barbie.
And he bought a boo-boos.
Yeah, so fucking so Richard Lewis, I'm opening for so I'm opening for Richard Lewis, and the first 2 shows go good. And then Saturday, it was at 8 o'clock, it was a 7 o'clock and a 9 o'clock show. And it was like clockwork on Friday, and the first show Saturday, like clockwork. I do 10 minutes, get the light. That means bring Richard up in 15 seconds. Just even if you're in the middle of a joke, just stop and be like, ladies and gentlemen, are we here for Richard Lewis? Shalom, shalom, shalom. Boom. That's what, we start doing that. Richard. So
just a chair being passed around in the audience.
Yeah. So I do my close. I Saturday night show, the late show starts to, kick off. I'm doing the things, and I had it timed. Like I do my closer about, 8 minutes, start, ramp it down, blah, 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 blah. So I do my closer thinking the light's going to come on at the same moment it's come on the last 3 shows. And, I'm looking for the light, and I'm doing the closer, and do the closer, no light at all. So I look over, and I'm like, okay. So
Panicking.
I'm like, okay, so I look, and then I see the owner in the back, Louis Ferranda, great, the legendary booker of Caroline's Comedy Club, going like this, meaning like, keep it going. He's like, keep it going. And I'm like,
stretch.
I'm like, yikes, 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 yikes. So again, I have 13 minutes. I've just done 10 minutes with my closer, like the best joke I thought I had, I closed with, it's done. So now I'm like, okay, I worked on something on the train ride over here. Let me try this. So I do it. It's like, kind of bombing, whatever. But, when you're a new comic, like you think, like if you just get a chuck, you're like, okay, good.
Right.
So, but, I'm bombing. Probably the entire set was a bomb, but I didn't
But this
realize.
was even worse of a bomb.
Bad.
This was nuclear.
This is nuclear. Sold out show Saturday night, middle of Times Square. So now, like 15 minutes have went by. And I'm like, oh my God, what's fucking happening? Dude. So then I start to go into the crowd a little bit and start to ask people. I'm like, hey, where are you from?
What do you do?
What do you do?
Birthday? Is that a birthday?
And everything, and everything like that somebody would say, because again, I'm just so new. I'd be like, you fucking jerk off. Like, I was just doing that. And they were like, what? This guy's in a
I
wheelchair.
bet you kiss your brother.
Yeah.
He's paralyzed.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he was like, he just lost his legs in Iraq. I'm like, yeah, you fargoot. Like just yelling, just bombing. And now it's starting to get bad. Dude, 55 minutes.
Impossible. How did you do 55 minutes?
I'm going to tell you exactly what I started to do. Dude, it got so bad about 30 minutes in, the staff stopped what they were doing and were dying laughing in the back because of the shit, not because of any of my material, of course, just because of how bad I was bombing. Dude, I brought 2 people up and let them try a joke. I brought 2 people on stage and I let them try. I'm like, anybody out here ever want to do stand-up? 2 people came up. I'm like, I'll give it a shot. Did a joke. One guy actually crushed.
Yeah, he's killing.
Yeah, it's a bit.
They start booking him. They're like, Chris, you're done.
Dude, then I asked, Andrew, I swear to God, if there were 400 people in there, I probably asked 300 people where they were from, and how many birthdays. I asked, are there birthdays in here? Like 10 times. And people are like, no, we said those birthdays. Then, dude, it got to the point, like 40 minutes in, where I started just saying, hey, guys, yell out a state and I'll name the capital. And they would just yell out a state. They would be like Iowa. I'd be like, Des Moines, that's easy. Next. Like I was just trying to do it. They were like California. I was like Sacramento. And then like people. I was like, I bet you can't get me. Like I wasn't. Like it was.
People coming to play tag.
Yeah, to play. It was crazy shit,
yeah.
Dude. 55 minutes in, I finally get the fucking light. I finally get the light. Richard Lewis comes onto stage, doesn't even address anything. He goes, "Give it up for Jeff." And I was just like, as I'm walking off, he goes, "Give it up for Jeff." I'm like, Dude, he had taken a cab back. He'd always take, Caroline's had a car service.
He went skiing or something?
Maybe he went skiing. They'd had a car service that would go back and forth to, from his hotel, which is like 3 blocks away, but in midtown traffic, that could be an hour.
You just walk.
Yeah, dude, that's what I said. But, but everything was running smooth. The driver of the car had been drinking and driving, I guess, and got into a car accident, hit the car in front of him, and was fucking loaded with Richard Lewis in the back. So the police came and they had to fill out a whole police report, and they couldn't get Richard Lewis out.
Did he have a bit about it?
No, he came on and fucking put his head down the whole show. He does an hour looking at the floor. He never looks at the audience. He just looks at his feet and tells jokes.
Really?
It's crazy, dude. But
he doesn't do any kind of audience interaction. He just gets up there and talks.
Just gets up there and talks and looks at his feet the whole show.
How do guys do that?
I don't know, dude, but his fans love him.
Yeah, but that always blows my mind that somebody can just disappear and not have any engagement whatsoever.
Yeah, dude, he does. He's from like that old school where like,
Well, it says, and they don't cuss either. A lot of them don't he doesn't cuss, right?
No, and you can't do any well, he said, on the Friday show, no crowd work and no cursing, but I'm like, what do you want? Like I don't have material.
But also, I get that with those guys. I played golf with Richard Kind, and you know him? Do you know who that is?
No.
Yeah, if I show you a photo, you'll know exactly who he is. But Richard, whenever I was cussing, he just doesn't like it. And he was like, "Don't work, Blue." He says, "Sugar, sugar." He goes, "Sugar, don't work, Blue." He doesn't like the cussing stuff because you know exactly who this guy is.
Oh, sure, of course. He's big from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in a million things. He's the voice of Bing Bong, and he's done 8,000 animated stuff. But he's incredible.
Right.
Such a good dude. But also, his jokes, when we were joking around, he's just clean as a whistle. I'm always impressed by guys that are squeaky clean. It's really hard to do, with our generation particularly.
Dude, I just watched just a week ago On the Rocks, Brian Regan's new comedy special. It's the best. It literally, I remember watching it in Phoenix and then going on stage like an hour later and I kind of was sounding like Brian Regan. I was just trying to be like, his material and his essence is so great to me. I was just like, because I was like, how is he not cursing and killing? He's killing outdoors in a pandemic, not one curse word.
Have you ever hung with him, by the way?
only once, and it was great. He bought like the whole bar around the drinks. He was like the coolest guy. Is he a LA guy or no?
No. I don't even know where he lives.
But you hung with him.
I hung with him, and I cut off your story. I'm sorry. What did you say though? You were saying.
What did I say?
I don't know. I sliced you off. I'm sorry.
I don't know, dude.
No, but it just
Who
made
cares?
me. Yeah, sorry. It just made me think that he.
I want to eat some salmon.
You want to eat some salmon?
Can we get some salmon ordered to the studio?
Salmon!
Hey!
It's on its way.
Yeah.
No, I hung with him in Madison, Wisconsin. I was doing the Varsity Theater. No, that's in Minneapolis. I was doing a small theater. Emily Blotnick was at Comedy on State, and and Comedy on State owns the theater next door.
Emily Blotnick's great.
Very funny, dude.
Yes.
Dude, I watched her kill. I was like, oh my God, she's really good, because I've never really seen her.
Yeah, she's always at the Comedy Cellar.
I've seen her a few times, but I've never really seen her do her hour. You know, when you ever see people doing their thing, you're like, whatever, they're good.
She's great.
They're funny. And then you watch them do their hour, and then you're like, this is much different than when I see them do what we get together. And then Regan was at next door at the theater that they own, that the Comedy.
Oh, like thousands of people, whatever it is,
And then we all met in the green room. We were kicking it, and then he's like, "Let's go. You want to go downstairs and go get a drink next door?" And we just sat and we had drinks, and I was like,
coolest guy,
beyond cool. And him and his wife were in the tour bus, just traveling the country doing shows. He's like,
Really?
yeah, I rented a bus, and she comes with me, and we got our dogs. And
I thought it was. Isn't he divorced now though? Maybe he's remarried.
maybe girlfriend. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever, a human that was with
He
him.
was cheating on his wife.
It was Lorraine. It was Molly back.
It was Lillian.
Lillian.
Lillian the mole.
Lillian the mole.
Molly had Lillian. Make a T-shirt.
Anyway, he is the best. Okay, look, the residency has continued. Chrissy D is going to be here for a few more weeks.
Yes.
We're excited to have him because he's my sweet little Prince boy. And we're going to end the episode the way we always do, is with one word or one phrase. And you got to take us away when I'm off camera. Go ahead when you're ready.
Okay, gonna take you off with one phrase or one phrase. I want to say to the people out there, what did I say? Last week I said that we're going to be back in 2024, and I still mean that, but I don't want to end with that phrase. So the last phrase I want to say is, happy birthday, Hitler.
In here, we pour whiskey, 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 whiskey.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.